first cousins announced they were dating by posting a photo of them kissing in a family Facebook group.
Oh no. First cousins.
Love can be an all-encompassing emotion that can drive us to do wild or even reckless things. And it's these intense corner pockets of romance that are explored by Prime Video's Extreme Love. One couple who featured on the show put everything at risk for love, including possible criminal charges and dangerous genetic issues for their children. Utah couple Michael Lee and Angela.
Oh, Utah.
Yeah, Michael Lee and Angela Pang are called the Kissing Cousins because that's quite literally what they are. They're first cousins who decided to get freaky with each other, and they revealed their secret love to their family in a pretty wild way, sharing a picture of the two of them ramming their tongues down each other's throats on a relative run Facebook group. Wonder what grandma made of it all. Oh, and we do mean the one grandma. They share the same one after all. Well, their family didn't take it that well. They were shocked and horrified.
Their family.
They were shocked and horrified, Michael told Extreme Love. Looking at the picture they shared, we can see why. Anyway, these canoodling cousins grew up in Utah and were close as kids. Obviously, a little too close. Michael told Prime Video TV show about a time in primary school when he and Angela slow danced together in a closet. And there was the time their parents, who are brother and sister, found them poshing. I think this is like a British article. I'm guessing that means kissing. The two were kept apart after that, but the pair reconnected at a family reunion. Both Angela and Michael were married to other people, but split with their partners before rekindling their whole kissing cousins thing. The two raunchy relatives reunited at a family reunion, which led them to throw caution as well as their morals and respect for genetics to the wind. Their family has shunned their relationship, and people on social media haven't been too open to the whole thing either. One user said the way that they came out to the family was so disrespectful, adding insult to injury. A second added, I feel bad for their future kid. He or she doesn't deserve what's coming for them. A third commented, they look like the male and female versions of each other.
Yeah.
It's like having a crush on your own reflection, but opposite gender. Self-admiration much?
Yeah, you can definitely see the resemblance.
The couple has since married, but not in their home state of Utah, as their wedding would be considered incest by law. So they jumped across state lines to Colorado, where it's legal.
Wow, Colorado has more lax laws than Utah?
I was going to say, if I thought one of those states it was legal, it would be Utah. Since the documentary, the couple has had 2 children together who seem to be fine and healthy, which is lucky as their shared genetic material actually doubles the risk of serious birth defects for the children, The Guardian reports. Michael passed away in 2021 after the couple shared their story, wedding, and 2 children with the world. So Angela is now a single mother of the 2 children. Hey, Jay, you can step in.
I don't think I look like her enough. She's looking for doppelgangers.
You think there's another cousin in the family that's like, oh, now I have a shot.
Well, does she have a sibling? Step her game up.
Here's the thing, though. So, like, you would think if 2 first cousins, like, did fall for each other like this, like, why would you post a photo like this to the Facebook group and be like, here it is, just, like, as graphic as can be?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you at least have some shame and be like, okay, we're seeing each other, but we don't want to, like...
No, they stuck their ass out.
They really did. They really put it out there on Front Street.
I think it was just like, let's just get it over with, whatever everybody's going to say, they're going to say it. So just made it the worst possible thing they could have possibly done and took a picture of them making out.
I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like, let's say you were dating a woman, you guys fell in love, maybe you got married, or maybe you just been together a long time, and then just for fun, you guys decide to do one of those like 23andMe or whatever tests, and it turns out you find, unbeknownst to yourselves, that you were like related.
Yeah.
Like, is there like a degree of related where you'd be maybe like, it just is what it is, to it like a degree where you're like, now it's too much? Like, let's say you found out like you were like, second or third cousins compared to like first cousins.
Yeah. I think second is still close. Third is like it still makes me feel uncomfortable. Like
Right.
I'd still be like, I think, yeah, as long as I can call them a cousin, it just doesn't. I don't think I can. It just changes your mindset completely. You can't think of them as a possible lover anymore. Yeah, I couldn't.
Now, what if, like, let's say, like, you fell in love with this person, you thought they were your soulmate, you actually got married, no kids yet, but you're married, and then you find out your first cousins. Like, would you just be like, we have to end it, or would you be like, okay, let's stay together but not have kids?
No, you'd have to end it. But like that would be so rare to like end up with your first cousin and not know it.
That's true. I mean, I assume things like that can happen.
Yeah.
Just like,
Like displaced people who like
that, or like maybe like the parents, like those siblings don't get along, so they're like, you never knew this
yeah.
particular side of your family or whatever. I could see it happening.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of this crazy case that happened recently. I think it was I don't know if it was Florida or somewhere in America. This father, he had adopted off his daughter. Like, she grew up somewhere else. But then when she turned like 20, 22, she like met her parents for the first time, her biological parents. She got into a sexual relationship with her father. And then like she broke it off and he got jealous and killed her and like a few other people too. Like it's just the weirdest, wildest thing. I don't know how that happens, man. That mentality.
I saw like it was on like a cheesy talk show once. Like, I don't think it was Jerry Springer, but like one of maybe the slightly more credible ones, but who knows. But it was like this story of I think they were half siblings, and like they didn't grow up together, but they met each other later in life, and they fell in love with each other and started fooling around or whatever. But I've heard that that's actually like something, not an isolated thing. Like, supposedly that's something that has happened a lot. Like, I was talking to Lester about it, and I think he like saw something about it to where like it's something that's happened multiple times where like, half siblings like meet each other as adults, and like there's something there like where they, I don't know.
It seems it's so counterintuitive. Like, you would think there'd be some sort of design of the body
Right.
to make you think like something's not right about this.
I think we want to believe that,
Yeah.
but just because like from an out, like we know it's gross,
Yeah.
but then like I don't know. Apparently, there's something there.
Man, I do wonder, like, I always like fantasize about living in like caveman times, like back in like when the earth was pristine. Like, granted, I'd be dead at like 20 maybe, but it just seems like such a unique, interesting time. Like everything was so, I don't know, just so pristine, and you think about what life was like back then. Like, they lived in these small little tribes. I'm pretty sure like half the kids, if not more, were like inbred and like messed up.
Yeah, you do kind of wonder, like, how did we ever like finally break out of that? Because
Yeah.
for a time there had to be like so much incest.
Yeah. Like, it would have been hard to even like evolve.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. Like, we must be inbred like crazy to some extent. Like, but then we worked our way out of it. And that's like, I feel like if we never grew our population enough, we probably would have like imploded from incest and stuff.
You know what I always think? Because I sometimes, I wouldn't say I fantasize about being a caveman because it's probably a terrible life.
Yeah.
But I do kind of wonder. The thing I wonder about is like, it would have been terrible from a standpoint of like, it would have just been so easy to die like
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like, you would always had to have kind of that survival mindset all the time. But at the same time, those people would have always been living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of wonder, were they happier than us?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they would have always just been present in the
Yeah.
moment, like, living for the next meal, hunting. Like, they probably all would have been in good shape because they had to be.
And also, like, I also think, like, history and education, all this stuff, like, it alters your mind. Like, back then, they didn't have anything to, like, work off of.
Exactly.
It was just like, okay, this is what it is. So, like, that altered their way of thinking, too, Like,
Yeah.
it does make it interesting. Like, granted, like, I think I value my education. I value, like, being able to survive in this day and age. But at the same time, it's like, what would it have been like if somebody hadn't, like, put all these thoughts in your head and you had
Yeah.
just experienced it all on your own,
Yeah. I also, like, this is kind of depressing, but, like, I'm always been attractive to, like, like the idea of, like, certain sci-fi where it's like, oh, kind of like the Matrix, where, like, the world we're in isn't the real world,
Oh, yeah.
and just this idea of escapism. And I'm like, it would be nice not to always crave like some sort of escapism, like entertainment, and just be like, I'm present in the world, and
Yeah.
like this feels like enough,
Right. Yeah. I wonder about that too. Like, what is the ideal lifestyle for humans? Like, for us? Yeah. We've been around for like 300,000 years, and life has changed so much in that time. And now we're at the point where, like, I think we're living like such a altered lifestyle that it's not conducive to like humanity and like how we're supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I do wonder what the golden age was for humanity.
I even kind of wonder, like, imagine the Matrix was real, and we could basically, almost like a video game, we could like basically like create or visit any reality we really wanted to. We could like go into a realistic like Star Wars simulation if we wanted to.
Right.
Obviously, it wouldn't kill us or whatever, but would even that make us happy?
Yeah, I think happiness is one of those things that you have it for like a second. It's fleeting, Like,
Yeah.
there always has to be some sort of trigger to like make it happen. And once it's been triggered, you have the effect for a little while, but then it goes away. So I think you constantly need to be stimulated.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I almost feel like I'm like constantly like, through TV, video games, comics, whatever, stimulating my mind and like escaping in my mind to these different realities and stuff. But it's like, after a while, it's like, well, that's not very satisfying either. So it's
Right.
like, I don't know. It's like, how do you become satisfied in the real world,
Right. I don't think it's possible. I don't. I think, like, when you look at the richest people and everything, like, nobody's satisfied. So, I mean, I just don't think there's a way to, like, really be fully happy. Like,
I know. That's the really like, and that's to go back to the caveman thing. I'm like, maybe they were happier than us.
yeah,
They didn't have to think about this stuff.
for that little time that they were alive. Like, even, like, we add drama, in this world, in our lives, Like,
Yeah, because most of our world is boring, so
Yeah.
we need to fill it with.
right. So
Stories
back
and
then,
drama.
like, if somebody died, it wasn't like, I'm sure they thought about, like, yeah, I grew up with this person, I love this person, and everything. I'm sure that mattered, but at the same time, I'm sure they were also like, all right, what now?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's such a fascinating question.
and we got here by thinking about cousin fucking. Well, we are over time. Do you want to wrap things up?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, guys, we hope everybody enjoyed the show today. We certainly did. If you will, please subscribe both to the YouTube channel and to the podcast on your podcast service of choice. Give us thumbs up. We do appreciate comments. Please, please, please comment. And you can also come over on Twitter. AJ, should we buy blue check marks on Twitter now? We can become verified.
We'd be a joke to everyone. Even the people who are verified are like, I'm not trying to be verified.
Yeah, apparently, like people with over like 1 million followers, like Elon, just like left him the blue check mark or something weird. I don't know. But anyway, where can people find you on Twitter if they want to?
At a name for this too, and that's the number 2.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.